Imeall nacht. Raibh lashe éile Bram Stoker. Ceiliúra ionad ceol Chorcaí Sir Henry's. Bhuaileann Catherine Foley leis an údar Emma Donoghue. Agus ceol le Aisling Jarvis. Big féile Bram Stoker tosanú amárach agus chuig ar dúirscóir etnaí chaáin nó Inni-K mar atá na gunnarí mar cheoltóir le plac a bhaint as clár na féile dúin.
Tá cultúr vampíre tar éis teacht chun cín ar fuad na cruinne le blianta nuas le leithidí Buffy, Twilight agus True Blood. Agus insá im le clia scríbhach agus a cruthaíoch an scéal is clútaí ar domhan de chuid na vampírí, sin scéal Count Dracula. Is tráthúil mar sin ag an amsiúd an bhliain agus ihe hailme druidim linn go bhfuil féile Bram Stoker fi lán teol sa chathair. Bás clúan tairmh im le clia de Bram Stoker. Rugach agus tógach é in uimhir a 15 de Crescent. Nuair a bhí sé óg bualadh le tinnis é, agus ní raibh sé ná siúil go dtí go raibh sé 7 mbliana d'aois. Os rud gur cha sé annach chuid ama na éonar, deir sé héin faoin am sin go chuig an tréimhse sin go mór a bhaim ar chuid saolaíochta. Bualadh le Ray Yates ag Caisleán Dracula a glúan tairmh chun labhairt leis mar eall ar an féile Bram Stoker. So Ray, inis tú mar eall ar an féile Bram Stoker leis ar siúlnis le go gard?
Thusig sé 3 bliain ó hin. Bhí córa idir an ardmhéire gnám, an córa Andrew Montague, agus bhí an ardmhéire hain an tóga le Bram Stoker, agus ceap sé go b'fhéidir gur duine nó údar é seo má cógambeidh in ard aithne thar timpeall an domhan, agus bhí hana féin ach ná creid gach céine gur raibh baint le bailí a clíile seo. An príomhrud an sin gur scrí sin á Dracula féin. Agus tá Dracula féin inis, bheadh sé anaíachar smaoinemh ar rudí os ná dúra nó fiú faoi déagóirí inis gan bheith smaoinemh ar vampires. Deirtear gur gur bhain sé le bheith daoine bheith tuairt iad a béaldach chéile. Se gur na cósan timpeall ar glún tairmh a gcónaí tuairt faoi daoine agus ceap sé gur sé 6 buint an fuildóibh. Sin ceann go na híomhána bhíige ach freisin tá bhí bhleadaí an péalar ann ó thaobh na stairide agus deire gur bhlas sé fuil. Bheith ag ggéthe do náide sin seanrúd ag in áiríre ceapan gach céine go bhfuil Dracula faoi an gnéas agus nach réine an an gnéas a chur inúil insna an néúiste gan íomhá eile nó meafar eile chorán agus in áiríre sin an fág gur go mór go bhfuil déagóirí fós ag tóga le Dracula.
Agus in sin cínsort cadín himachtaí go féidir le daoine teachtacha agus tainna bhfuil teasta? Well,
ceapan gúil se bheith fecinn ar rud freisin san chlár faoi clún tairmh mar ba cónig bhí an teach cluine again seo ag glún tairmh. Na daoine tá ag feimú níos ag agrú an féile tá si éis tréine amsú a haon tríd nó faoi parcaní níosca agus congrucht de réala glasníon. Agus tá si chun rudí chur ar an tréin, is chun dtíar cad é léitir underground Gothic ar sin, agus tá ceann gona operas das vampír ó néúiste ach tá sé arsúil ag Opera in the Open, bhíonn sé siú gach bliain na maiile clia, tá si an chur chuige seo agus beidh sé ag bugadh thar timpeall ar Park St. Anne's agus ceapan go mbeidh sé anscandra go Joe.
Think you that nature meant for me to be this at my very birth?
Gach bbliain I rith Lúnasa chuirmid opera ar siúil Sarah Nashka bhíonn sé iontacht, tá sé níos mó ná 10 bliain anois. Gach deirdín tá opera difriúil, agus ní opera amláin a dhéanamid ach óir, so ag amlán. Ceapan méid go bhfuil sé anna tábhachtach chun bris suas an smíanamh go bhfuil opera snab ní rud éige mar sin, le tá gachsáis duine ann agus tá sé iontacht le an ceol ach tá sé relaxed atmosphere, so you know. Táimid ag déanamh an rud céine le Opera in the Open na Lúnasa, táimid ag déanamh ór ón opera, like na arias agus na duets. agus is scéal ítach é tá mar Dracula agus tá an scéal an rud céine sais difriúil caithí mé trí maids a bharú rih deire an lei. Na céad beirt tá siad ceart go leorach well.
An tríú ceann. Sin Jackers.
It's trí lá bháin, it's job mór é sin.
Job anmhór sin, le haon vampire.
Yeah.
And feast on the blood of those you love around you, those who love you most and honor you. By your life you had to swear. By your life you had to swear. Who lives through you is lost through you. Your sons, your daughters, and your wife's blood. At first it calms the rage inside, but before you die, they see it is you. They curse you and curse themselves.
Bhí anna chlúar fadar ionad ceol chorcaí Sir Henry's ní bhain an sochanéireann ach ar fud na Eorpa leis. Chúmar go chorcaigh le leart leis an drámadóir Raymond Scannell faoin dráma uairsaige Deep agus leis an DJ Stevie G, mai eall ar meallach ar chur Sir Henry's go mór le saol chorcaí.
Isn't there just something in the air? From Douglas, from Bishopstown, from Knock at the Lock, hungry for something new, converging right time, right place, at the door of a new night at Sir Henry's.
Deep is a one-man show which plays out like a DJ set that charts the history of a club night in Cork in the 90s, which was called Sweat, which is on in Sir Henry's. The building itself was a whole complex. It was an old hotel, and there was a network of rooms. It was pretty run down, and I think that was part of the charm of it as well. It was very grungy, and there was this kind of mysterious black stuff on the walls that would end up on your clothes, you know. So it closed in 2001. It's been demolished now, and I think that the idea was that there was a multi-storey car park was going to be built on the site, and now it's just, as you see, just one level car park. But on a Saturday night, it was literally, the whole place was just swimming with people, you know.
We started going to this exotic place, Sir Henry's, when we were about 16 really. Once I got in there, it was like nothing else. There was people of all different kind of like ages, and sort of style was like fashion-wise in there, and the music was just like nothing you would have heard really on the mainstream radio or TV. And then I started DJing in there, and I just thought like, oh my God, I can just like, this is just the best thing ever. We were in the back bar mainly is where I DJ'd, and it was just such a busy place, and people were climbing up onto the second floor, which was where it was, and climbing in the window while you're playing, climbing through the roofs. It could be DJing and some guy would randomly drop in. The bathrooms were famously a bit of a mess up there, and you'd have situations where there was certain kind of leaks were happening, and I don't know, certain people would come in like vibed up and really kind of like feeling the love, and there was guys walking in and they're, oh man, this is so cool, like this water effect, and I was like, you don't know what you're actually doing there.
It can't be underlined enough how open the place was in terms of a cross-section of society, you know. It was people from suburbia, people from inner city, people from rough areas of the city, people from more well-off areas. There was this whole generation of people who were just like, to say they were fanatical about the music is a total understatement.
Gyrating hips, hip-hop obsessives, back bar DJ, a shade-headed beats monastic, links between tracks for the musos, the tricky twists and crossfades, gets in the corner by the window, looking out onto the street below. An epidemic of youths swarming the building, grinding the walls, scaling the roof, dipping like monkeys along telephone wires. Creamy Colin jumps in the second story window, dusting his sleeves off as Stevie G mixes bug powder dust into Gap Band's Outstanding.
I think it was Dave Fanning said it was the best live venue in the country. It was really good. They put a lot into the sound system and into the sonics. So it was really good for Cork, and it was quite influential from the rest of the country. This was the kind of gig that I suppose everyone kind of talks about. Kurt Cobain. I wasn't even at this gig, and I was gutted because I was a huge Sonic Youth fan. I didn't really know much about Nirvana, to be honest, like everyone else in Cork. And I think there was about 50 or 60 people down when they were playing. There's the Brendan Behan t-shirt there, which is cool. And there was this whole story about him going around, walking around Cork, getting some sort of spiritual buzz. His ancestors were obviously from here and stuff. And he was apparently saying that he just felt a bit of a vibe that day. And I think a lot of people feel that when they come down here anyway.
Go, 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 dancing in the disco, oh no, dancing in the disco, bumper to bumper, wait a minute, where's me jumper, 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 it's alright to say things can only get better.
But these weekenders became big. They started in June '94, this is a year in. And there would have been brilliant DJs from Chicago, Boo Williams and Glenn Underground, highly respected guys. Brilliant DJs from around the country like Billy Scurry, Mark Dixon, Liam Dollard. And these were big events, like people used to come down to Cork for the weekend and party like mad.
We'll be so angry. And my brother will be so.
To many people who never will have ever go to Henry's, who were too young or who just weren't around, and we'll all be gone at some stage as well. And it's important to get the authenticity across. And it's the same with this exhibition here, but deep, and nailed it really well. I mean, in ways that I couldn't imagine, and got the vibe of not just Henry's, but of Cork in general, of the different kind of types of people and musics, and just a different economical, social background.
But there was a very positive feeling.
Henry's had a great momentum of its own.
The atmosphere and the vibe and everything, and the sound as well in Henry's was unique. And it was just on. It was on with the music.
It's very much a local story and very specific to Cork in its detail and references, but also, you know, with any story, as a dramatist and a writer, you're going to try and make the thing as universal as possible. You know, the music of that time, house music and hip hop and everything that was going on there was a universal thing. It was exploding all over the place. So there was Henry's stories in lots of European cities, whether you kind of are familiar with that time and that music, or whether you're coming at it from a point of view of just complete interest. It plays out like a documentary of the early 90s and house music scene in Ireland.
Agus beidh deep le Raymond Scanna le feicáil I Gildara I a Harden Beagsa.
Today I'm 5. I was 4 last night going to sleep in wardrobe, but when I wake up in bed in the dark, I'm changed to 5. Abracadabra. Before that I was 3, then 2, then 1, then 0. Was I minus numbers? Ma does a big stretch. Up in heaven, Ma, was I -1, -2, -3? Nah, says Ma. The numbers didn't start till you zoomed down.
Hán leir cuachtach rúm fáil I gcuachanga is trucha, agus á annach chud grad an buinteach aige ó tháinig séach 2010. Bhí sé nearlist an Man Booker agus an Orange Prize. Den for scanán bunhéir an leir im líana. Se an 16 uorscéil scríg Emma Donoghue, agus há an tuchtú ceann tagamach le déanaí ar teitil Frog Music.
frog music is amazing. It's such a great story. What was it about that particular time in San Francisco and the year 1876 and the character of Blanche? You know, what kind of caught your imagination?
What grabbed me, I suppose, was the particular murder that Blanche found herself a witness to. She was in a room in a really dingy little sort of pub hotel outside San Francisco when her friend Jenny got shot dead through a window. And it was never clear which woman was being aimed at. And I suppose what grabbed me was the sort of unlikeliness of it. You know, that these two French women, Jenny Bonnet having come to San Francisco as a small child and then Blanche coming in her 20s, they don't seem to have known each other long, and then suddenly bullets through a window, and I just thought it was an irresistible story.
With all the honours now, I mean, Room has won so much, and like you had a 2-book deal with Penguin at the age of 23. Was there ever a dark night of the soul? Did you ever suffer or lose your confidence, have a crisis of faith?
People often think that once you get published by a mainstream press that sort of you have it made, but in fact there is no guarantees, no solidity, no safety in the literary life. You sell each poem, each story, each book one at a time, and your publishers are not committed to you and you're not committed to them. So it really is, it's like serial monogamy, you know, there's no counting on anyone. Yeah. So for instance, even after I'd published a lot of books, before Room there were a few years when my books didn't get published in Ireland and England. So I was doing fine in America and Canada, but couldn't get anyone to touch my books for a couple of novels in a row in Ireland and England. And you know, my own mother had to say to her friends, oh yeah, Emma has a new book out, but it's not out in Ireland. Shame!
And I love the way you dedicated, was it the woman who gave birth to rabbits, you dedicate to your father because he showed you that
he had always
books
said to me
had,
that he's a professor of literature and a critic, and he always said to me that books are for allowing you to imagine lives other than your own. You know, it's not all about, oh, this is relatable, I can connect with this, it's just like me. He said, forget that. Books are for making you care passionately about someone who lived 1,000 years ago or in the future or in a different country. You know, they're an amazing sort of technology for making you empathize with people who are utterly different from you.
They might be shouting out, here comes the rain, says Jenny, or predator nearby, or help. The females have a special low call for, get off my back, I'm not in the mood. Blanche laughs at that. You speak frog. Well, I've been known to try, says Jenny, rueful, but they don't seem to understand my accent. I do like to come up here after a winter rainstorm to listen to the frog chorus, like some kind of crazy orchestra. What's the chorus? Asks Blanche. A bunch of frogs, says Jenny. A family, you mean? Jenny shakes her head. Just the males. Frogs aren't what you'd call family-minded.
I wanted to ask you, Emma, as somebody living in Canada for 16 years or so, and that before that you lived in England, you were in Cambridge. As a writer, did that distance from where you grew up, did it help at all? Did it free you up in any way?
You know, it helped me. I wouldn't recommend it to all writers because sometimes those of us who've lived in different countries, we get really envious of somebody like, I'm thinking like the late John McGahern, somebody who's just so known for an absolutely authentic evocation of his particular spot on the world, and also finding the universal stories that happen in that spot in the world. That's the thing. I mean, your material doesn't have to be local just because you're very rooted to one place. However, I say for me it was great in particular because I have found it to be very freeing myself, and I think it's also freed me to go into previous eras as well, because there's a feeling of, well, if I could set my story in Toronto or in London or in Dublin, then sure, I might as well set it in San Francisco in the 1870s. You know, the world is my oyster.
I cried till I didn't have any tears left, Ma tells me. I just lay here counting the seconds. How many seconds? I ask her. Millions and millions of them. No, but how many seconds exactly? I lost count, says Ma. Then you wished and wished on your egg till you got fat. She grins. I could feel you kicking. What was I kicking? Me, of course, says Ma. I always laugh at that bit. From the inside, you were kicking me, boom, boom. Ma lifts her sleep t-shirt and makes her tummy jump. I thought, Jack's on his way. First thing in the morning, you slid out onto the rug with your eyes wide open.
A handful of bad ideas in Tedal atá an géad chéarnaí nua eisithe ag Aisling Jarvis, agus lear mé le garad faoin Geirlín son, agus faoin meallach ar tháinig sí ar go féin.
Talked about while I was gone, but I can promise it was me. handful of bad ideas is an though. Hannig sé amach an céad lá a bhí dhearfór.
De stíl hain mar si a chéad ceirnín éanair agus bín sé táhachtach cinál ráitas í anamh, tam tagca, conna sí fá chuirsís stíl Aisling Jarvis?
Cheapam gur thug mé a láin influences ó má bhám agus clanad ach tá mé cheol hain anna pop agus níos mó rock ná clanad.
Agus maidir leis na Harán agus tú a scríomh. An in seofad an faoin brosés scríbhnáireachta tágat?
Ja, a lán na Aránaí bhí méid scríomh nar bhí méid recordálíd a cúpla na Aránaí bhí sé críoch nar bhí méid sé bhíon ag seach.
Has tú scríomh go thóg sin?
A cúpla na Aránaí ná.
Agus gan tógach I dteilech anna cheolbhar fad thu sin mai a brenn de bháthair gan dat. A mín sé uaireanta díon nuair tá máthair anna cháiliúlagat le tú héanach ar nniu agus rá look mis sé Aisling Jarvis tá go héana gom. Mín sé sin deacar uaireanta?
Tá sé sláis deacar ach tá mé héana agus bháim tá muid ionta clós agus tá mé anbrodal de an career a bhí eici. Bhí saoil iontaá ceol ag mám agus buaitlumm an rud chéine.
Apologies are not what I owe you, but I guess that I could say thank you. You don't know how much you like. You earned your chance, but I got mine back. Well, it takes a hint of common sense to treat a girl with some respect. From what I've heard, you missed all that. 'Cause you dished out disrespect, but expected it back. Apologies are not what I owe you, but I guess that I could say thank you. You don't know how much you like. You earned your chance, but I got mine back. The shoes don't fit and I'm starting to fade closer and closer back to her each day. Thought that you could handle it, thought that you'd be safe, but it took you for her to realize she made a big mess. The shoes don't fit and I'm starting to fade closer and closer back to her each day. Thought that you could handle it, thought that you'd be safe, but it took you for her to realize she made a big mistake. Apologies are not what I owe you, but I guess that I could say thank you. You don't know how much you like. You earned your chance, but I got mine back. You earned your chance, but I got mine back.
Big TG cahar a créile bio ó reachtas na gailne Gilárne an teachtain se chuin, ach bíonar damta gan caiiciise, nar bheith chlár speisialta gunn a teacht ó á cín na gailí.